Good morning. This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I'm back in my Mars base. I did move all this stuff over to this area. So I got my greenhouse fired up here. A little dark in here at the moment, but speaking of which, let me change this battery real quick. See what we're at here. Yeah, that probably would go dead while I'm talking. I changed some things with power. I won't go too much into it. I added a bunch more power. Also added a training post, but the big thing I wanted to do in this one was my hydroponics and LarRe setup. Now I wrote a new code. There's a I don't know how new it is, but I didn't know about it until very recently. You don't need hydroponic devices anymore. There's a way to make the LarRe read the thing below it by using a slot. So basically, I can access any hydroponic device information without referencing it, and I'll show you how I did that. Stuck on the ladder a little bit. So this is my program. Remember to subscribe and like if you like this. This will be uploaded into my workshop under either eLearnter1 or just do a search for Old Salt. One of those should get it to you. It's an IC10 code, of course. But basically I just aliased the LarRe and the in bin, which is the input chute below me. And I aliased position to R10, even though I used R10, just so you know that's the position that I want the LarRe to be at. And I have slots to read our hydroponic devices between position 2 and 16. So if it's the first thing I do is check, because it's going to cycle all the way around, and add one. So if the position is 17, then I reset it to 2 here. Otherwise, and how I do this is if it's less than 17, then I branch relative 2, so I skip that line, and it goes to this line. So what I do, if it's the first time when you initiate the program, R10 is going to be 2. So then I move the LarRe to setting R10, R2, and then there's a bunch of these JAL weights in here. All that does is go down here to the weight section, loads if the LarRe is idle, and circles here until it is idle, and then it returns to that address or the next line from the JAL. So then this is how you read what's below the LarRe without accessing the hydroponics at all. You don't even need a hydroponics device. You can just do a regular hydroponics, and you can put them right next to each other now too. So I may change that. But it's load slot. That slot 255 is accessing the item below it. So you can look up a hydroponics device and see seating. So I'm just telling the LarRe to look below it and see if it's seating, and set that value to R0. So if it is seating, it's going to set that to 1. So if it's equal to 1, then it's going to send it to seed. If there is no seeds, it's going to add 1 to R10 or go to 3 and loop. So it's going to keep looping until it finds something that's seeding. And once it finds something that's seeding, seeding will equal 1, and it'll go to seeds, which is down here. So it's already at the position I want it to be. So it just activates the LarRe and picks up the seeds, and then goes to wait, and then goes to harvest. Now this wait is in there because it takes time for it to activate and move, so you have to make sure it's idle or it'll just skip the next step. So you have to wait pretty much after every step with the LarRe. So after it picks up the seeds, it's going to jump to harvest, which is up here. So now it's going to activate it again, because it's going to be something after the seeds. You don't even have to check it. There's going to be a plant there, most likely. And then it waits. And then it loads the slot below it, 255. Mature, so it's checking the hydroponic device. Is there something mature there? If there is, it's going to set R0 to 1, and it's going to keep looping here until there's no longer a mature plant behind it. Now, there could be two things going on here. It could be either occupied with a perennial that's not mature, or not occupied and needs seeding. So once there's no mature plants, it goes to drop off. I just set it to setting 1, the LarRe. It goes to setting 1 because that's where my input pin is. And I wait, and it activates, and it drops the plant, like the wheat or whatever plant you get, into the in bin. And then, of course, that has to wait between each step. And then I send it back to R10, which would still be 2 because I haven't changed it. It's going to go back to setting 2, and it's going to wait. And then it's going to say, is it occupied? Now, if it's occupied, then it's perennial. It doesn't need to be seeded. So I can skip the reseed section. What I do is, if it equals 0, which means it's not occupied, send it to reseed. If it is occupied, then it's a perennial, and I go to LarRe setting 1, back to the input bin, wait, activate it, and it drops the seeds in the input bin. And it opens. This is buggy right now. I have to fix this maybe, but we'll see if it works now. But it goes to the input bin, cycles the input bin, adds 1 to R10, which now would be R10 is 3, and goes back to start, and cycles the whole thing over again. Now, if it needs to be reseeded, it's actually a little easier. All you have to do is activate the LarRe, and it drops the seeds in the spot. And then you add 10, and you go back to start. So that's the whole program right there. In a nutshell, 54 lines, and you could do an unlimited number of hydroponic devices as long as you can keep up with it. This one I have 16. It used to be really hard to get all this into one IC chip. Now with that load slot 255, it all fits. So if you come down here, I do have some things that are seeding. I had to mess with my light setting a little bit. So there's some seeds there. So it should go down to there and seeds there. So let's see what happens. It should go down to the wheat, and hopefully this works. Now it's going to go to 2 first, because it's reset everything to 2, because that's what I did at the start of the program. This is position 2, station 2. So it's going to say, okay, is there seeds there? Nope, go to the next one. No seeds there? Nope, go to the next one. Same thing. Now this one, it's going to find seeds. So it's, oh, okay, I got a harvest here. And it's going to harvest everything until it's either not a mature plant or it's unoccupied. So there you go. Now it's unoccupied. It says, okay, now I have to go back. And I hope this cycles. If it's not, it's a minor bug. I just got to figure it out. But I did drop it, and it didn't cycle. I don't know why it's not doing that, but I'll fix that. So now it says, oh, it's unoccupied. Got to plant the seeds. Okay, go to the next one. Same thing. Now, I'm not entirely sure why this crazy thing. So it needs reseeding, so it goes to reseed. Maybe I need to put it here too. Let's try that. Save in bin open 0. That should cycle the M bin. We'll see what happens. I'll probably have to do that too, but... So it replanted that one, now it's checking the other ones. I don't know if I have any seeding at this point. Like I said, things are growing poorly because I screwed up my lights while I was working up there. Okay, so now there's nothing seeding, so it's just going to keep cycling around until it finds one of these that's seeding. So I am going to turn this off for a second. Double check my code. Reseeding. Save input. So I'll put it there. And then drop off. It should have it in here too. And then right there it is. Save in bin open 0. I don't know why it's not working. If I put it up here, after the yield, save in bin open, I'm pretty sure it's 0, it might be 1. If I put it up there, export it, it works, but every time it jumps to start, it's a good debugging method, because every time it jumps to start, it works there. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it doesn't work, and I don't want that going off every time. Oh, I found some seeds. Okay. But you can see it does work. Now it's going to go drop these off. And once it goes to start, it should cycle this. Now, I don't really like that cycling over and over. It's kind of annoying. So it's going to go plant the seeds. And then it'll cycle this. And all it did was put them over here. I don't have them going anywhere right now. Some more seeds. So you can see that it is working. So maybe somebody can... I get stuck on that ladder. Maybe somebody can tell me why in Harvest, when it jumps to drop off, it runs through here, activate. Why is it not working here? Because it does need to... Well, it's not getting there here because it's reseeding, but I have it here too. It should be working. I don't know exactly why it's not, but I'm going to leave that program like that. I'll debug that later. I just wanted to show you, this is actually pretty cool. You no longer have to wire up your hydrant, and I could take these spaces out. Technically, I could put regular devices everywhere. I could do a whole bunch more rows. I just don't understand why this isn't cycling at the drop-off. Because it goes to drop-off, goes to the setting, 1, activates. So maybe if I put it up here, we'll see. I found some more seeds apparently. And after the activate, when it drops things off, just paste that into there. And I bet you it still doesn't work. So I'm just going to let it run like that until I debug that. But that is uploaded. It is working. Now we got seeds. Nope. Nope. And you could just leave it like that. It's kind of annoying, but you know, it's noisy here. I'll fix that. I will re-upload it into the library once I get that kind of little bug fixed. But there you go. Oh, this one should be picked next. That's seeds now. So it should stop there and pick the soybeans. Perfect. So the program does work. I'm wondering if it does it now at drop off. Nope. Only when it restarts. That's very strange. Oh well, I'll let it like that for now until I figure it out. But there you go. So if you like this program, again, if somebody out there can tell me why at the start point, save and bin open 0 works, but not at the drop-off point. Save and bin open 0. It's after the wait, it should return to that. It doesn't make any sense. Control C, let's move it down a line. Shouldn't matter, but it's after the wait. Maybe that wait is screwing it up somehow. Control V. Now let's take it out of up here at the start where it is working. Confirm export. Export. Now it won't do it at every start, but it might not do it at the drop off either. But there you go. That's just one little bug to figure out. Now I don't have any seeds, so it's going to be a while. But there you go. So that program works really well. It makes programming so much easier that you don't have to use the hydroponics device and reference that every time. I did do some changes outside here. Let me show you how's my food and stuff. Everything's good. Not sure why I put that in my hand, but oh. Alright, so just a quick view. Now I have been doing my outpost mining. I have plenty of iron, plenty of gold, plenty of silver, plenty of copper, and plenty of, even with all the stuff that I built, I have enough to make. But I did add a bunch of wind turbines up here. You can only have 10. Excuse me. You can only have 10 wired because I had too many wired and I blew some cables, so I disconnected 2 of them during this storm. I was generating too much even for the heavy cables. So I disconnected 2 of them and now it's okay. Actually, I guess I disconnected 4 of them. Might have to experiment with that too. But I had a trading station, that's where I got the pumpkins from. I may have to change this to a large... Right now I only have all alloys. I have to change this to a large satellite dish so I can get more food, because it's very... With a medium one you don't get many food thingies, food traders, so... but I got my trading system working. I did get one food trader. I think I bought pumpkins from him. That's why I got some pumpkins right there, which aren't even ready to harvest yet. But that's the only thing I could get from that guy was pumpkin seeds that I really wanted. Oof, I gotta be careful. I actually damaged myself one time jumping off of there. But that's it for today. Remember, subscribe and like. And I will figure out this crazy code and why it's not cycling after the drop off. It worked. Oh, okay. Well, now I can see if that moving it there did the trick. Alright, so now it's going to come over here, drop it off. Hopefully it cycles. Oh, it went too fast. But that's okay, because that'll just sit in there until the next time it drops something off, so that'll work. I'll be okay with that. Like I said, I got to route the chutes. Oof, I'm getting a lot of stuff. Oh, okay, so that works. I'm happy with that. And that in my hand, pick up the potatoes. So there you go, the program is working now. There is a problem with pumpkins. I don't know if you saw that or not, but that's soybeans and wheat. Okay, took it off, good. So there's a problem with pumpkins. As you can see, they stick out the front of the refrigerator. Don't ask me why. But there you go. Program works. I will, matter of fact, now that it's working, I will turn it off. Put it in here. Make sure I got the right version. Edit. Library. Replace it here. Overwrite. And then save that to the workshop. Publish. Updated. Confirm. So if you go to the workshop, the easiest way is to click the IC code 10 code checkbox, and then you can search for E-liner or just old salts, and it should come up. All my programs are in here. So anything that you want to use, you're welcome to use. Let me know what you think. Oops, I gotta put that back in there, don't I? And I'll be back in the next episode. I'll have all these running, maybe have some more seeds. Pumpkins grow really slow. This is so much easier to program than the old one. Okay. I'll go over here. Drop those off. Yeah, it goes before it drops it off, so that's okay because it'll do it again. Yeah, I just did it. That works for me. If I have time, I'll fix that, but it's working now. And there's the seeds. Like I said, I got to route them. I'll probably put a vending machine here, or I could just route them all up to the vending machine, sort them out or something like that, but we'll figure that out later. So there you go. Maybe those all came in. Like I said, subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next episode.